Good everyone. My name is Mamika Matsumoto, a bilingual MC based in Osaka, Japan. It is my great honor to welcome you all here to our event today. And I would like to also thank those who are watching online. Now, let me give you a brief overview of today's masterclass. Today, we have 3 sessions. In the first 2 sessions, you will be joined with our speakers, Hano Kim and Maya Konishi. And the last session is a Q&A session with Kenji Yamamoto and all the speakers. There's a short break after session 2. To kick off the event, I'm honored to welcome Hano Kim, the founder of BBB. Hano is Korea's top bilingual MC, bringing over 40 years experience to the stage. A former news anchor, journalist, and working mom, and she combines her professional expertise with a deep passion for empowering others. When she is not on the stage, Hano is dedicated to helping people overcome their English barriers, helping them speak with unshakable confidence. Okay, everyone, please join me in welcoming Coach Hano.
All right, well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Power Talk 2024. My name is Hano Kim. I'm the founder of BBB, Become a Better Bilingual Speaker, and we are known for helping people like you. We are known to bring the best out of people so they can go out there and crush their goals, whether that's speaking on stage like this, or emceeing an event, or giving that killer presentation. We make sure that we remove your English inferiority so you can rise to professional superiority. Okay, so we help you remove English inferiority so you can rise to professional superiority. So we are so excited that you are here. We named this the Power Talk because we want you to feel empowered, inspired, and encouraged after this event. And we have over 200 people watching us online right now. Thank you for those of you joining us in the audience. So we have some great speakers who have joined us tonight. We have 2 amazing speakers who flew in from Japan, Maya Konishi and Kenji Yamamoto. We also have our MC, Mamiko Matsumoto. She flew in from Osaka yesterday to host this event. And we have our top bilingual MC in Korea, Hee Kim. She will be moderating session 3. So this is probably, in terms of quality, one of the most highest quality events we have done in BBB. So we're really excited that you're here in person. I know many of you are watching this online right now from all over the world. So we are so excited that you could join us today. And let me ask you a question. How many of you want to sound natural and fluent when you're speaking in English? Yeah. How many of you would like to speak with more confidence when you're speaking in English? Yes. How many of you would like to gain attention from top leaders of your industry and around the world? Yeah. How many of you want to sound smart and be taken seriously when you're speaking in front of foreigners in English? Yeah, I see people raising their hands. Give me a yes in the comments if you're watching this live. And I see you nodding your head. Yes, we want all of these things, right? You have come to the right place. But you know what? Most people don't get this. Most people get this wrong. What am I talking about? Most people think they have a language problem, while in fact they have an identity problem. Let me say that again. Most people think they have a language problem, not an identity problem, but your real problem is not language, it's your identity. What do I mean by that? A lot of people, they say things like, oh, I wish I could speak more fluently. I wish I could speak as naturally as a native speaker. I wish people would understand me because of I'm not sure if my accent and my pronunciation is bad. All of these things, right? Think about it. Your problem is not language, your problem is identity. And most people, I guarantee you, over 90% of the people treat this like a language problem. So what do? They study more words, they study grammar, they watch the Wall Street Journal, read the Wall Street Journal, all of that. But knowing big words, using big words, do not necessarily make you a confident speaker. Because you can be information rich, but delivery poor. You have so much information in your head. You are information rich, but delivery poor. And if you want to deliver public speaking in English with confidence, you have to speak with conviction and confidence. Otherwise, you will not convince anyone, right? So you don't have a language problem. You actually have an identity problem. And I used to have a serious identity problem. And I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. I'm going to put this away a little bit. Right, so true confidence comes from knowing who you are and knowing your identity. And I used to have a terrible identity problem. So this is a little TMI, but my official name on my passport is Christina Hanul Kim. I begged my parents to change my name on the passport. I have a Korean passport, so it's really difficult to change your English name on a passport. But so when my parents made my first passport, they did a pretty bad job with the spelling of my Korean name, which is Kim Han-ul. Disclaimer, Korean people get my name wrong too. They think my name is Hanul, not Han-ul, right? And my parents spelled the name like H-A-N hyphen W-U-L. And I moved to Malaysia when I was 5 years old. I moved to Singapore when I was 12 years old. I graduated high school in Singapore at an international school. And then I went to do my college in America. But every single time, first day of school, teacher calls the roster, and I am dreading because they're like, Han, Han Lu, or like Han from Han Solo from Star Wars. I'm like, oh no. And I just said, it's Han Wo. And they're like, Han Wo. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I hated my name. So I begged my parents, like, can you please change my name? But it was also pretty weird to all of a sudden tell your friends, like, call me Christina, because everybody like calls me Han Wo. So I thought the best opportunity was when I went to college, I could reinvent myself and I could have this new identity as Christina Kim. So when I went to college, when I met someone, I said, call me Christina. Hi, I'm Christina. So I just really hated my identity as a Korean girl, an ESL girl, a girl whose English was not her first language. People did not take me seriously. Teachers thought I did not understand something because my English was bad. So I always had this label that English was my second language. I was an ESL Korean girl. So when I went to college, I really tried to reinvent my identity as Christina Kim. So I managed to change the name. So the name Christina comes from the Christian church. I got baptized in the Christian church, and the church gave me a name, Hannah, and I didn't like it. My mother also got baptized in the church. Her name, Christian name was Christina, so I stole my mom's name. And yeah, I became Christina Kim. But you know what? It's only been a couple of years since I started introducing myself as Hano Kim. Even to non-Korean people, I just say, hi, I'm Hano. And then it takes them a couple of tries to get it right. But I became more comfortable with my Korean identity. I became comfortable of introducing myself as Hano, and if people get it wrong, I was comfortable to point them that, oh, it's actually Hano, Hano, until they get it right. You see, people pay attention to people who are confident. Confidence is power, but true confidence comes from knowing who you are, understanding your self-worth, and understanding your identity, right? You can't just fake confidence. Knowing more English words will not make you more confident. Because you know what? You know what's probably going on in your head? Maybe you learned this new phrase, new expression, new word, and you're trying to use it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm saying this right. So you get even more nervous, right? You can be information rich, but delivery poor, right? So think about that. So listen up. There are two ways you can approach this problem. The first way, you treat it as a language problem. The second way, you treat it as an identity problem. Here's what happens when you treat it as a language problem. You do things like you go on YouTube, you search business English, you search easy English with suits, and you search tutor on Ringo or Sumgo, you find this English conversation partner, you join like a book club or like a morning English routine. You do all of that. But how's that working out for you? How many of you are 100% happy with the way you sound in English after doing all of that, right? Yeah, I'm sure people you're watching, you're like, oh yeah, I've done that before. But how many of you can say, I'm 100% happy with the way I sound in English? If that was the case, how come you've been learning and speaking English for 12 years, but you still freeze when you're in public? How come you get this whiteout moment when you're trying to come up on stage or speak in front of a foreigner? Why do you sound like a kid? All of a sudden, like, your words are not coming out. This is what happens if you approach it as a language problem, and 90% of the people will treat this as a language problem. And that, my friends, if you get this, if you unlock this key to this secret, you will not fly, you will soar. And if you ask me, how come you speak English so fluently? How can you show up on stage with so much confidence? I do it because I treat it like an identity problem first. Before I study the words, vocabulary, all of that. You don't need a vocabulary makeover, you need a mindset makeover. Over 90% of English learners treat it like a language problem. That is the problem. And you will not hear a lot of people say this. This is very unconventional wisdom, per se. So how do you treat this like an identity problem? You follow the moi framework. Everybody say moi, moi, moi. So moi stands for MWA. I actually made that up. MWA framework, the moi framework. It stands for mindset, words, action. Mindset, words, action in that particular order. First, you need to have a mindset makeover. You need to understand who you are. What is your self-worth? What is your value? What is your identity? Figure that out first, and then you start adding the words. You start learning words and expressions and phrases that will protect, project, and promote your worth. And the third part is A, action. Now you have the mindset, now you know what to say, now your actions must match what you say. If you say, I'm confident, I'm smart. But if you're like, I'm confident, I'm smart. Yeah. Hi, I'm the smartest person in the room. Like, so your action, the way you show up, that includes posture, that actually includes health. You don't want to look sick. You don't want to look like a sick person and say like, I'm so confident. So MWA, moi, MWA, mindset, words, and action in exactly that order. That is the way, that's the solution to approach English as an identity problem first, right? So confidence, true confidence comes from knowing who you are. For the longest time, my identity was, I'm a Korean girl from South Korea. I'm ESL. My English is not good enough. So until I was about 20 years old, I felt so insecure about my English. I thought, my place is here. Don't stand out. Stay your place. This is where you are. Nobody took me seriously. Nobody was scared of me because I had no authority. I had no power. I just nodded and I smiled, right? But there is one person that I want to share with you whose English was not her first language, but she was a ball of fire. She is my younger sister, Dal Kim. And today it's a perfect day to talk about her because my sister passed away 15 years ago on this very day, November 19th, 2009. She was a famous model. She walked the runways of Chanel, Karl Lagerfeld. She was on the cover of Vogue. She was on the H&M campaign. She was a really famous model. And she took her own life 15 years ago. And the reason why I'm sharing you this story was Dao, she was unwilling to bite her tongue for a paycheck. She will not let anyone get in her way. So she spoke with so much confidence. She was like a ball of fire. And this was way before social media. This was way before Black Lives Matter. She really spoke up when Asian models were so underrepresented in high fashion. Chanel picked her, one of the few Asian models Chanel hired for their campaign because she was a personality, right? And you might Google her and you might find out what she's done. She was also a painter. She was a photographer, not just a model. And English was not her first language. But people paid attention to her because she was bold and she had a very distinct identity. And I am so proud to share her life with you today. Not only because she's my sister, but she was also an incredible individual. And what I want to tell you is a lot of us feel insecure about our English, but so many of that comes from your mindset. So my recommendation to you is try the moi framework. Mindset, words, and action. And you might be wondering, so Hanul, how do I actually do that, right? So for those of you who are here, who are watching online, I have compiled 5 questions you should ask yourself daily to understand your self-worth. And you can actually download that. When you're watching this, there's a button that says download a freebie. You can download that, and there are 5 questions you should ask yourself to understand your self-worth. And if you're here in person, you're gonna get an email really soon to watch the replay, or if you check your email, go to that button and click on that button that says download a freebie. So at the beginning I said BBB, we're known for bringing the best out of people so they can go out there and crush their goals, things that they never thought was possible for them before. And you can probably go out and figure that out by yourself. But I can help you get there easier and faster. So here is my free gift to you, those of you who are here and watching online. I will give 3 people free 30-minute roadmap call, like a free consultation. So Galaxy will put the screen up on this screen. So what you do is you scan this QR code. If you're watching online, you can click the button that says book a call. For just 3 people, no obligations, okay? I'm going to listen to your struggles, and I'm going to give you a roadmap. I'm gonna show you how you can improve your English using the MWA framework. Just for 3 people, free of charge, my gift to you. So again, download the freebie and also schedule a call with me. I would love to talk to you. Those of you who are watching online, I see you, I hear you, and I'm so glad you're here. I named this the Power Talk because I want you to feel empowered, encouraged, and inspired after this talk. And we have a great lineup of speakers coming up right after me. So don't go anywhere and enjoy the rest of the Power Talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Hano, for inspiring stories. Thank you. Our next session is a fireside chat with Maya Konishi and Hano Kim. Now, how many of you are wondering what is a fireside chat? Okay, let me give you why the fire is not here. Well, the term fireside chat originated from the US President Franklin D. Roosevelt's radio broadcast during the 1930s. He used these informal talks to make people feel like they were sitting by a cozy fire, having a friendly conversation with him. This style became known as a fireside chat. We are going to bring the same cozy spirit to the Power Talk tonight. As Coach Hano sits down with Maya Konishi, they are going to talk about how to be successful in the global business world as a non-native speaker. So believe me, you will never find these stories on YouTube or Google. So, okay then, without further ado, please welcome Maya Konishi and Coach Hano with a warm applause.
Okay, oh, wow. One moment, please. I got too excited. I left my questions. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mamiko. And thank you, everyone. Wow. Great. I'm going to push this up a little bit. Yeah. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Once again, if you're just joining us live, welcome. Welcome to the Power Talk. We are starting session 2. Fireside Chat with Maya Konishi. And I am truly, truly delighted to have Maya join me here. So Maya and I actually been known you for more than several years, actually. I followed you on Instagram. I knew who you are. But in Tokyo, around this time last year, I had an opportunity to meet Maya in person through Miho Noguchi, a bilingual MC in Japan. I was hosting a workshop in Tokyo, Japan, and Miho was there, and she got me in touch with Maya. Maya, I haven't told you this yet, but when I was organizing the Tokyo workshop, I asked Miho, hey, I'm looking for a 3rd speaker. What about Maya? But he said, like, Maya just became the CEO of Communica, so I think she's really busy. So I'm like, okay, like maybe she is on another level. So, but look look at Maya. Maya's in Seoul now. So I'm so excited that she has agreed to speak to us today. And Maya, she used to work in finance and consulting and also in interpretation before she joined Communica and she became the CEO. And she has a phenomenal story. And so Communica is a unique school that combines leadership and language. It's based in Tokyo, Japan, and it serves business professionals in Japan who wants to elevate their English so they can speak and become leaders on a global stage. So I have a few questions for Maya to start things off, but if you have a question for Maya, I want you to save your questions because we have some open Q&A at the very end, okay? So, Maya, welcome to Seoul.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. 안녕하세요.
Yes. So, Maya, were you always good at speaking English? Tell us a little bit about your background. Where did you learn your English?
Well, so first of all, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I feel like I have many similarities with Hanul, and I myself am 100% Japanese. My mother and father are very, very Japanese people. But my father's job took him to the US, and that's when I was 5 years old, and that's when I first came into contact with the American language. And of course, at that time, I spoke zero English, so I was also the ESL girl who was taken out of English class to go to the ESL class and kind of really, struggling to learn English. But here I am now.
Yeah, that's great. So what did you do? You speak English flawlessly now, but what efforts or what did you do to become a top 1% English speaker in my eyes?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the 1% top English speaker. I think one of the things that I worked really hard on when I was young is reading out loud. So I think that really, really helped my pronunciation and learning vocabulary and learning grammar. So I think it's really the fundamentals, like just doing the same thing over and over, repetitive action, which kind of eventually led me to where I am now. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So I have some questions here, and these are pre-submitted questions from the audience. So if you submitted a question, thank you. Your questions might be here. We just got a load of questions, so I just picked the ones that were very similar in nature. So this question comes from a pre-submitted question. So Maya, when you teach people working in competitive foreign companies where English is the common language, what skills or elements do you think are most important to focus on?
Good question. So just to give you a little bit of information about Communica and the company that I run right now is, as Hanul said, it's an English school where I teach business people, I think much like yourselves, people who work for foreign companies, foreign-based companies like Google or like Meta or Accenture, or people who work for Japanese companies who need to go abroad and become more global, CEOs who need to speak English more. So these are kind of the students that I teach all the time. So they always need to speak to American people from the headquarters or British people from the headquarters. And as you mentioned, they have a lot of anxiety because they're studying very hard, but whenever they have to speak up in front of an audience, they freeze. So one of the things that we do at Communica is not only teach English, like the grammar and the pronunciation and the vocabulary, but also really the mindset. So I mean, I was listening to your talk. I thought, we have a lot in common, BBB and Communica. So there's more that we can do, I thought. But I definitely teach them about mindset and leadership skills. I think is really important. It's really not about how you're speaking in English, but really what you want to convey with your English skills. And what I've been learning is that a lot of my students come to the realization that they don't really have any message that they want to convey, or they're not really sure what they want to do through the meeting. They just want to make sure that the meeting is running smoothly and that they're not making any mistakes. So I say to them, what is what kind of conclusion do you want to get out from this meeting that you're hosting? and they're like, I just want to make sure that the minutes I complete are, perfect, and that I don't get in trouble from my boss, and everything is okay. And I think, then why are you running the meeting? Like, there's no decision that you want to make, or there's nothing there's no agenda that you're trying to push. Then what is the purpose of speaking good English? So I think really the more and more I teach English, I come to the realization that it's really about leadership and how to do business. So more and more of my lessons are focusing on leadership and like what you want to do in life and what your goal is. And if you need English, I can help you in that area as well, So.
Yeah, I think our philosophies, we share so much in common.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much from Maya. I really admire your work. And if you are taking notes, this is a secret to people who are successful. They really take time to sharpen their mindset. Of course, hard work is a given, but there's a strong emphasis on mindset that most people think it's all fluff, positive talk. Yeah, that's great. But I need to memorize more words, or I need native-like expressions. I need to shadow, CNN or read the Wall Street Journal. Before you do all of that, if you want to rise above the crowd, if you are really competitive, if you are not settling for just mediocre, you want to be the best of the industry, this is what you should be taking notes, everyone. So really, really great points that Maya just shared there. So speaking on leadership and mindset, so let's talk about Communica. You did not just inherit Communica. You started from the bottom, right? You first started as an employee of Communica. You became the VP of Communica for how many years?
For about 10 years.
Yeah, and then you became CEO last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Kenji Yamamoto founded Communica. He was the CEO until last year. And Maya became the CEO, female CEO, last year. Now, when you became CEO last year, did you know you could make it this far when you first joined Communica?
No, not at all. I think to kind of go back, when I was first working for the bank, very big bank in Japan,
What's the name of the bank?
Mitsubishi Bank, maybe you guys know. So my highest priority while I was working at the bank was to find a nice husband so that I could quit my job as soon as possible, and my life would be safe and I would have some kind of income through this husband. So that was the only objective in my mind as a worker. And I would have never thought that I would be running a company at this age. So just to, give you some information, it's not like I was like, I'm going to become an entrepreneur kind of person that, at the beginning.
Yeah. So how old are you this year?
Oh, yes, I'm 40.
Yes,
I think
40,
same as Hanel.
CEO.
Yeah. So I didn't think that was going to happen at all.
Yeah. So when you first joined Communica, Kenji Yamamoto was the CEO. And I heard from Kenji that you were quite a troublemaker, right? Tell us about your journey.
To say the least, right? Yes. So I was very, very fortunate to meet Mr. Yamamoto and be hired by him. I did not think that would happen, but at that time I was a struggling interpreter and translator, and I was also teaching English like as a side job. Maybe for like $30 an hour, I would teach a student at a cafe, and then I would run off to another cafe, and I would do these jobs. But I thought that this was not really a sustainable way of living. So I was struggling. I didn't know what to do. And then came Mr. Yamamoto. He said to me, "Are you serious about teaching English? Like, do you want to pursue this as a career?" And I said, "Yes. This is what I want to do." But I was very arrogant. I thought that my English skills were very high, and I thought that I knew a lot about, teaching English. I thought I knew a lot about the English language. So there were a lot of things where I could not just say yes to Mr. Yamamoto. Mr. Yamamoto, on the other hand, he will come up on the stage later. He was the former CEO of Apple Japan. He has worked for Oracle. He has worked for IBM. So I don't think he's really had any employees talk back to him. So I think it was a very, very uncomfortable situation for him also. But I had very passionate ideas about what English education should be like and how I should be teaching also. So there were many, many, I like to call them fights, but I don't think that's what he would like to call it. I think he was like just scolding me, but I call them fights. And because I was a very passionate and just rude employee, I was fired more than 100 times the first year.
You were fired 100 times?
Yes, yes. So
but how can you be fired from a company and still
be
go
there
back to work?
So the tip is you go back and then you apologize like you've never apologized before and hope that he will take you back.
And he took you back.
I don't know. I just stayed. I guess that's the way to say it. Yeah. So in Tokyo, our office is like in Omotesando, which is kind of like Gangnam area, like very nice area. But I have run around that area following Mr. Yamamoto, begging him, oh, please take me back Communica. So, and Mr. Yamamoto has thrown away my stuff outside, and I would go and take it back and try to come back in. So it's, just, I think our neighbors thought like, what is going on in that company over there? So it was a very, very harsh.
But why did you do that?
Yeah, so the reason is because I just could not give up this job. I was just too passionate. I loved it too much. And I just couldn't think of doing anything else except this. I think that's the only reason why I was able to, stick up through this.
Wow. So you were fired 100 times.
Yes.
Now you're the CEO of Communica. Wow. Let's give a round of applause for Maya. That's an amazing story. Wow, you never gave up, never take no for an answer.
Never take no for an answer.
Wow,
Yeah.
So amazing.
But you'll probably get to hear a different side of the story from Mr. Yamamoto
yes, we
later.
have to ask Kenji his
Yeah.
side of the story.
Right.
Make sure we'll ask that. Okay. So it was a huge challenge for you to be where you are. But what do you think was the biggest challenge in your career, and how did you overcome it?
I think, so as I said earlier, I never thought that I would be working at this age. I never thought that I'd become a CEO, an entrepreneur. So I think the biggest challenge for me was to have this entrepreneurial mindset, to kind of gear towards or shift towards this mindset of like challenging and like breaking barriers and taking control, this kind of, because I was obedient. I was fine with being submissive. But then I thought, if I really want to, try this career as an English teacher and really try to change English education in Japan, then I do need to take that step forward. And I think that was a struggle for me.
But let me pause you for just a bit. English teacher, there's so many English teachers out there. I'm sure in Japan and in Korea, there are so many English teachers who teach online, they tutor, they have their own courses. And for some people, they're like, English teacher, it's not a very respectable job. But you went at it with so much passion. Why was that?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really like the term English teacher because there is like kind of negative connotation to it. But I think I feel like it was kind of like a gift that my parents gave to me, that I moved to the US and I had the opportunity to learn English. And actually, I do want to mention something else, is that I've met such tremendous teachers along the way, and they've been so inspirational, and they've really helped me to try to learn the English language. And like my neighbors, they really helped me. And I feel like I have to give back. All these people who've helped me to become who I am now, I have to give this power, because it's not, of course I put in a lot of effort, but it's not just me. I feel like I have a lot of people to thank and to be grateful for. So that's why I think I'm really passionate, and I want to kind of give back what I've gained.
So this is like your calling. You were placed on earth, you were given this talent,
right?
And you feel like you have to share this with other people.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. What motivates you? Is that the reason why?
Yeah,
what
that
drives you?
definitely. And then also, I think my experiences living in the U.S. I don't want to say like discrimination, but there is. I think a lot of people would understand if you're Asian, it's not as easy living in the U.S. being an Asian, and so I feel like I want more Asian representation in the world, and I think that's also another motivational factor.
Do you feel more Japanese or more American?
Yeah, that's a good question. In heart and spirit, definitely Japanese. But I feel like in my education, since I've been educated in the US so long, I think a lot of the way I think comes from like American educational system.
Yeah. Well, those are great points, and I'm sure a lot of people have many other questions for Maya. I want you to take a note of that. And if you have a question right now, we can also take questions from the floor. But while you guys are thinking, I'm going to ask Maya this next question. This is more of a lighthearted question. What is your go-to comfort food for relieving stress?
Okay, so as I said, heart and soul is Japanese, but I think since I was 5 when I moved to the US, my taste buds are very American. So my comfort food would have to be macaroni and cheese, mac and cheese. Yeah. The Kraft, the one in the box, not like some fancy mac and cheese.
Do you have like good memories associated with
Yeah,
mac and
I
cheese?
think like going over to my friend's house, that's having a sleepover and like cooking mac and cheese in the night and staying up and talking, those kinds of memories are recalled as I eat. Yeah.
That's great. So when you were living in America, did you face any discrimination because you were Japanese? Because your English is really good. So it's hard to imagine that you had any trouble living in America communicating with Americans.
Right. Well, it's difficult. It's not like I've had like a serious issue. It's just very small things like, does this teacher not like me because my parents don't speak English fluently, or is it because she just doesn't like me, or that kind of thing? Like, is she kind of cold because I'm Asian looking, or is there some kind of other reason? So it's not like blunt and you can't tell, but you kind of feel like, oh. Or if you go to a restaurant and the good seats are taken by like Caucasian people, and then you're like sent to like a different table towards the back, and you're thinking like, well, was that just by accident, or was it like on purpose? And those just things kind of add up, and then you think like maybe that's why you need to stand up for yourself more. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that there was like a huge incident or anything, but just small little things like stacking up.
Yeah. I'm not ready to let you go just yet because we still have a lot of questions. But one thing I wanted to ask you is, if people who are in this audience and people watching online, some people might think, well, Maya, you had a very privileged life. I didn't have a chance to study abroad. I never studied overseas. Of course, you speak good English because you had all this education. For me, it's a luxury to even think about moving abroad. My English will never be as good as you. So what message can you tell people who did not have the same experience, English privilege like you?
Yeah. Actually, that's a concept that I struggled with because I thought, do I have the right to be teaching English because I never went through like a difficulty to learn English. And I thought maybe students won't want to learn from me because I'm not really a good role model. But I thought I want to teach English, and I want to be the person who helps people to try to like bridge the gap between Japan and the world. So it's really something that I want to do for myself. Sorry, what was the question?
So any message to people
right.
who feel very defeated, like, oh,
right.
lucky Maya, but my life is not like Maya's. So,
right. So, I mean, to people who feel that way, I mean, I'm sorry I make you feel that way, but if you see me and see my message and you're like, okay, I'm inspired and I would like to learn from her, then I hope that you do take this opportunity, because I think that this is a gift. Like, I don't know why I was presented this gift, but since I do have it, I mean, I hope that you will make the most out of the gift that I was given, and I am totally open to help anybody. And a lot of students say, oh yeah, my English level is too low that I cannot like come and learn from you.
Yeah.
But no, like I'm not going to judge you. I just want to help you. So it would be best if you just open yourself up to me and say like, I need help, like, you know, in this area, and this is what my English level is like right now. That is the easiest way. If you just come and just show who you are to me, then I can be of more help to you. So I think that would be my message.
Yes, thank you. So you can follow Maya on Instagram, Maya underscore Konishi,
yeah.
or you can check out Communica. If you're watching this from Japan, I know like some of your students are also watching this online. Hello, Japan. So really, really inspirational stories. One thing that I really felt when I met Maya in person, she is extremely positive. She's just always smiling. And another, really, this is a fact, Maya is a good listener.
Wow.
Yeah, she never cuts you off, and she listens very attentively. And I've noticed this in a lot of successful people. They don't really brag about their accomplishments. They're really good at listening to other people. And Maya is a curious soul. She's a humble person, very down to earth. But I know she has grit. She was fired 100 times. And I heard that you were like on the floor. What is that in Japanese?
Dogeza. Dogeza means like to bow on the floor. Yeah. There's a Korean word for this maybe? I don't know. OTL. Oh yeah, OTL.
You were like bowing down on the floor, begging Mr. Yamamoto to take you back. Like, who has the guts to do that? So if you're watching this and you feel like, oh, Maya has it all, she really, really worked hard to get to where she is. And I hope that her story inspired you. If you have any questions for her, save it. We'll have some time for open Q&A, but thank you, Maya. That's all the time we have for today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's give a round of applause for Maya Kanishi. And Mamiko, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Maya and Hano, for your interesting story.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to take a short break. We have some refreshments right side of the desk, and feel free to grab a drink and networking with those around you. Now, time is 7:47. We will be back in 27 or 8 minutes. So resume the session 3 at 8:15 p.m. Korea time, okay? 8:15 p.m. Korea time. So those of you watching online, please don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Thank you.
Thank you. That was good.
Questions were so good. And I loved your speech.
Really?
Yeah, so
I have no idea how I did. I was just on autopilot.
Hello, my name is Suzuno. I currently live in Philadelphia, PA in the United States. I was originally born and raised in Korea. So my first language is Korean, second language being English. I am a real estate investor and developer as my career, and also serving as a president at the Korean American team of schools.
Hi,
In
Andre.
both fields, especially in real estate, it's a very male-dominant industry. So you wouldn't see somebody like me very often in the field. And Coach Hano's program and herself is a very good fit. I knew right away that she would be the person who would understand my pain and struggle. I recommend this program to people who live in the US or anywhere in the world, and you're speaking different languages, especially when you have a different cultural background. I recommend this program to you if you want to be effective in conveying yourself properly. Try to find yourself in it. What are you and who are you and how do you want to present yourself to other people in a professional setting or in general? This is a highly effective and helpful courses for people like us. going through the program with her, and I have more coaching sessions to go attend to. But so far, she's been really understanding the struggle points and able to share her experience where I can connect very easily, very deeply as well, of how to technically get through those challenges and be a better bilingual person.
Hi, my name is Mabiko Matsumoto. I am a professional bilingual MC for English and Japanese. I have been working as an MC for over 17 years. In these 17 years, I have incredible experiences, but it hasn't been always easy because I have been always struggling to the feeling of inferiority. Comparing with other excellent bilingual MCs, I don't have an experience to live abroad and I am not a returning student. This fact made me think I am not good enough to other than bilingual MC. I should have lived abroad if you are a bilingual MC. I tried to attack these solid ideas, but I can't do it by myself. I made up my mind to take Coach Hano's one-on-one session last month in order to attack the solid ideas and to become an outstanding bilingual MC. 1 month passed already. Guess what happened inside of me? The inferiority for over 17 years has been decreasing. Instead of it, true confidence arises inside of me. That is because Coach Hano gave me a concrete advice to attack that limiting belief inside of me and gave me an advice before going to a gig, and I could reflect to that actual event. The result was that I could receive the compliments from the organizers and clients more than before. I am so excited to what's ahead from now. If any of you feel that the lack of confidence is holding you back to reach potential, I strongly recommend that you should meet Coach Hano. You don't have to be an MC. If you want to have an confidence, meet Coach Hano. So don't wait and start the journey to discover your confidence and growth.
I'm the CEO of Bootstrap. Our company is providing autonomous software engineering service in automotive industry. So before joining the BBB coaching program, I was always afraid of speaking English. Good English communication was very important for my business, but I felt nervous and didn't know how to overcome. Joining the BBB program was a turning point for me. I not only built the confidence to communicate in English more naturally, but I also gained a deeper understanding of myself and my goals. The program taught me skills and habits that helped me overcome my fears and start moving forward with purpose. So now I feel empowered, more in control, and able to handle both personal and professional challenges with confidence. I highly recommend the BBB program to anyone looking to take control of their life and reach their full potential. So whether you want to overcome a specific fear or set and achieve meaningful goals, this coaching program is a powerful tool. It helps you understand yourself better and gives you the skills and habit needed to make real, lasting changes.
My name is Galaxy in Hachou. I am a vacation manager. I currently changed my job from an account executive at an advertising agency. I worked with many global clients, P&G, McDonald's, AB InBev, and Coca-Cola for about 18 years. I studied abroad for 3 years. I could speak English in different business settings. Well, making a small talk was more difficult and I looked very serious. Before the BBB coaching program, I was very afraid of being wrong about what I say. I wanted to speak correctly. I was more focused on being right and being smart. I see that being correct or being smart are not the important thing because I'm here to communicate with people. I am here to deliver my message. The coaching program is very helpful and I know what's wrong and I can speak more confidence and also I can feel more comfortable. To sound smart and to sound more confident, I think you need to change your mindset before memorizing any big words. With the skills I'm gaining from the BBB program, I think I can open more doors for my global vacation program. I thought I was not qualified to do that because my English was not good enough. But now I think I can inspire more people who are struggling to learn the English as their second language.
Hello, my name is Susan No. I currently live in Philadelphia, PA in the United States. I was originally born and raised in Korea. So my first language is Korean, second language being English. I am a real estate investor and developer as my career, and also serving as a president at the local Korean American Chamber of Commerce. In both fields, especially in real estate, it's a very male-dominant industry. So you wouldn't see somebody like me very often in the field. And Coach Hano's program and herself is a very good fit. I knew right away that she would be the person who would understand my pain and struggle. I recommend this program to people who live in the US or anywhere in the world, and you're speaking different languages, especially when you have a different cultural background. I recommend this program to you if you want to be effective in conveying yourself properly. Try to find yourself in it. What are you and who are you and how do you want to present yourself to other people in a professional setting or in general? This is a highly effective and helpful courses for people like us. Going through the program with her, and I have more coaching sessions to go attend to. But so far, she's been really understanding the struggle points and able to share her experience where I can connect very easily, very deeply as well, of how to technically get through those challenges and be a better bilingual person.
Hi, my name is Mabiko Matsumoto. I am a professional bilingual MC for English and Japanese. I have been working as an MC for over 17 years. In these 17 years, I have incredible experiences, but it hasn't been always easy because I have been always struggling to the feeling of inferiority. Comparing with other excellent bilingual MCs, I don't have an experience to live abroad and I am not a returning student. This fact made me think I am not good enough to other than bilingual MC. I should have lived abroad if you are a bilingual MC. I tried to attack these solid ideas, but I can't do it by myself. I made up my mind to take Coach Hano's one-on-one session last month in order to attack the solid ideas and to become an outstanding bilingual MC. 1 month passed already. Guess what happened inside of me? The inferiority for over 17 years has been decreasing. Instead of it, true confidence arises inside of me. That is because Coach Hano gave me a concrete advice to attack the limiting belief inside of me and gave me an advice before going to a gig, and I could reflect to that actual event. The result was that I could receive the compliments from the organizers and clients more than before. I am so excited to what's ahead from now. If any of you feel that the lack of confidence is holding you back to reach potential, I strongly recommend that you should meet Coach Hano. You don't have to be an MC. If you want to have an confidence, meet Coach Hano. So don't wait and start the journey to discover your confidence and growth.
I'm the CEO of Bootstrap. Our company is providing autonomous software engineering service in automotive industry. So before joining the BBB coaching program, I was always afraid of speaking English. Good English communication was very important for my business, but I felt nervous and didn't know how to overcome. Joining the BBB program was a turning point for me. I not only built the confidence to communicate in English more naturally, but I also gained a deeper understanding of myself and my goals. The program taught me skills and habits that helped me overcome my fears and start moving forward with purpose. So now I feel empowered, more in control, and able to handle both personal and professional challenges with confidence. I highly recommend the BBB program to anyone looking to take control of their life and reach their full potential. So whether you want to overcome a specific fear or set and achieve meaningful goals, this coaching program is a powerful tool. It helps you understand yourself better and gives you the skills and habit needed to make real, lasting changes.
My name is Galaxy in Hangzhou. I'm a vacation manager. I currently changed my job from an account executive at an advertising agency. I worked with many global clients, P&G, McDonald's, AB InBev, and Coca-Cola for about 18 years. I studied abroad for 3 years. I could speak English in different business settings. Well, making a small talk was more difficult and I looked very serious. Before the BBB coaching program, I was very afraid of being wrong about what I say. I wanted to speak correctly. I was more focused on being right and being smart. I see that being correct or being smart are not the important thing because I'm here to communicate with people. I am here to deliver my message. The coaching program is very helpful and I know what's wrong and I can speak more confidence and also I can feel more comfortable. To sound smart and to sound more confident, I think you need to change your mindset before memorizing any big words. With the skills I'm gaining from the BBB program, I think I can open more doors for my global vacation program. I thought I was not qualified to do that because my English was not good enough. But now I think I can inspire more people who are struggling to learn the English as their second language.
Hello, my name is Susan No. I currently live in Philadelphia, PA in the United States. I was originally born and raised in Korea. So my first language is Korean, second language being English. I am a real estate investor and developer as my career, and also serving as a president at the local Korean American Chamber of Commerce. In both fields, especially in real estate, it's a very male-dominant industry. So you wouldn't see somebody like me very often in the field. And Coach Hano's program and herself is a very good fit. I knew right away that she would be the person who would understand my pain and struggle. I recommend this program to people who live in the US or anywhere in the world, and you're speaking different languages, especially when you have a different cultural background. I recommend this program to you if you want to be effective in conveying yourself properly.
Welcome back. And those of you who have just joined us online, we are coming to you live from Seoul. Welcome to the BBB Power Talk 2024. If you missed the first two sessions, be sure to catch the replay because it was full of amazing insights and practical tips. And let me remind everyone that if you have joined us in person or online, you get a free download. Simply click on the button on the live stream or the replay landing page. But you must download it in the next 48 hours to get this bonus, so don't miss this great opportunity. With that, we are going to move on to session 3. Seol-hee Kim will be moderating this Q&A session. Seol-hee, I'll give it over to you. Right here.
Well, so nice to meet you, everyone. I know you guys are really eager to learn English and to learn the mindsets. And I was one of the students of Hanu too. We kind of started studying when BBB was found. Yes. And thank you, Mamiko, so much. And today is a good evening. We're going to start the session 3. And my name is Seol-hee Kim. I was working as a TV announcer in Korea, then for 6 years. And then now I'm working as a mobile show host. You can find me online, like Neighbor, Collies, and stuff. It's great that I can host these wonderful shows. In our last 2 sessions, we heard from like 2 very, very talented and powerful 2 women who overcome their English settings and become achieving great things. But you know how they sound perfect and you know the English was flawless. But I am not that flawless like them. So probably everyone was thinking that I'm not fluent like them, like am I in trouble? But some of us might feel we have a long way to go. But don't be in despair because now I'm going to introduce you a very, very top-ranked CEO whose English is not that perfect and not even a native speaker, but he was managed to rank up the big names like IBM, Oracle's, and EMC before getting handpicked by Steve Jobs to become Apple Japan's as a CEO. So when I heard that he's coming to Korea, I was very excited to meet him, and I'm very, very honored to introduce you his names. So please give an applause to Kenji Yamamoto. You gotta do the Bon Jovi.
Oh yeah, I like. 안녕하세요. 처음 뵙겠습니다. 저는 야마모토 켄지입니다. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Yeah. 하지메마시테, everyone. That's the only Japanese I can
So
speak.
I wanna correct one thing.
Yes.
I honestly speaking, I fired Maya Konishi 167 times. Instead of that, even today, I've been scored my English pronunciation every day by Maya Konishi. Okay.
I was gonna ask that question first, but then you gotta answer. So it's great that we have you here. I mean, I cannot imagine to become an Apple Japan CEO. That's like Google, like Apple, and the big names. I can't believe that.
Apple is bigger.
So we are pumped up, and I'm gonna ask the first question directly. So first of all, how did you get picked up by Steve Jobs to become the CEO of Apple Japan?
Okay. So if I talk about Steve Jobs, I should walk around
Yes, of course.
like that. So as you know, same as in Korea, there are many headhunters, recruiters, who work for the global company. They are American or European people. I was fortunate they picked me up, reported to Steve Jobs to meet me. I guess so. But as you know, all of American businesses are result-driven. You know, that is the proven track record only. That is the business result, what I did in my younger days. So let me share my story briefly. Try. I'll try. I got a dream when I was 17 years old. I don't like to say that was 48 years ago. I got a dream. What kind of the career I have to proceed? What I chosen is computer science, computer technology. I want to change the world. I want to create a world where humankind and computer can coexist, help each other. So simultaneously, I started about the learning of artificial intelligence. I issued a lot of paper, everything described about artificial intelligence. That's coming realized very soon, I hope so. Anyway, I chosen the IBM as a first my career. I was so lucky, not so many people chasing this career. Very limited people study about computer science. But there are not so many Japanese books. As you know, all of the technology came from America and Europe. Every book was written in English. Even translated in Japanese, there are so many mistakes. In my domain, everything are alphabetic, but something is English, but something is a special terminology for computer industry. So in that case, my choice, I have to study English. I have to study computer science by English only. And I chosen the American company. I was a systems engineer as a first career. That means making program, writing program every day. I was an engineer at the development site. All of the program came from New York, written in every document written in English. So I have to read English every day. That was fortunate for me. When I was 35 years ago, I decided to move Oracle. I was fortunate to promote be a general manager for consulting division. That looks good. But from that point, my boss was American people. Not just reading English. Every day I had a phone call from my boss. At that time, the application technology, those kind of the complicated technology has very difficult to understand for Japanese people. So I started to hire the American people, European people, Indian people. So almost every day, my communication should be English. That is my start point. When I was 39 years old, I was promoted senior vice president. I worked for EMC. We did the 8 times revenue growth in 3 years, almost $1 billion. Those kind of the great record I created every moment. That is the reason the headhunters pick up me for Steve Jobs. When I was 44 years old, I was a senior director of Oracle Japan. I was a top candidate for next CEO of Oracle Japan. At that time, 1,600 people reported to me. I'm responsible for all of the sales, marketing, development. I looks like a giant king. I enjoyed a lot Oracle job. And I dreamed to be a CEO of Oracle Japan. But fortunately and unfortunately, I had one phone call from headhunters. Kenji, are you interested in meeting one genius in the world? It's okay. I already met Larry Ellison is a genius, Oracle CEO. That's enough. But he said that it is Steve Jobs. He wanna meet you. Really? Apple is still survive? I believe they are already dead. That kind of situation. That was 2004. 20 years ago. Their stock price is around $10. That means very close to die. And in addition to that, Steve Jobs is a horrible guy for me because he did a bunch of TV commercials about IBM. He said many bad things about IBM. So in my younger days, he is the one or top or bad guy in the world I hated. Because IBM was the big mistakes did that. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates created the downsizing trend for the computer world. IBM missed it. Originally, IBM had 400,000 employees in the world, but they made the mistakes and hired from the CEO from biscuit company, and their employee reduced half, 50%. Those kind of history I know. So originally, I hesitated to meet Steve Jobs. It's a story. But I'm a very curious guy. Gradually, I started to wanna meet another genius, Steve Jobs. So during the business trip to America, I accepted to meet Steve Jobs. I have experience to visit America more than 200 times for business trip. But this time, I'm a little bit excited to meet the genius. But I'm a very rude guy for him at that time. I said to him, Steve, I'm a genius for B2B, business to business industry. Maybe I'm a #1 consultant in Japan. In my career, I did the biggest project in my life, $100 million Nike global project. That's I did that. I'm a guy, business guy. So you made the mistakes, I believe. There are many Yamamoto in Japan. Maybe second or third popular name. You should hire a B2C guy. I'm a more than 100 million guy. I'm not your people. Very sorry. I have a promise to play golf in Japan. I have to go back. I talk a lot. Steve says to me, Kenji, Apple is recovering. Europe, America, clearly recovering. Only Japan has an issue. They have lost their energy, passion for Apple. It's not employee, partner, customers, everybody. They don't understand the Apple. Okay, but I'm not a guy. Why you pick me up? He said to me, Kenji, I already spent 2 years to meet a B2C guy. That means all of candidates from Japan I met. Okay, congratulations. But I could not find the people. What do you expect for me? Revenue or profit? What kind of the leader do you try to find? He said to me, Kenji, I need a leader who has a passion, who has the power to attract everybody with Oracle or Oracle Apple products. Okay, but I believe it's not me. Sorry, I have to go back. So first meeting, I said no. But Apple is a great company. From that day, every day I had a phone call or email. Sometimes they send me a product not announced. Very secret product. That was attract me. And the second time, Steve Jobs proposed me, very nice proposal. Kenji, why don't we meet movie theater? Ooh? Pixar. How do you feel that? I can meet Steve Jobs at the Pixar studio. I'm a fan of movie. Okay. Okay, I decided to meet you. When I arrived at the San Francisco airport, there was a big car came to airport and said to me, Kenji, very sorry. Steve has an urgent issue, so would you please come to office? Oh my God. But I went to the office, but I realized when I meet at the second time, I'm already the huge fan of Steve Jobs. I talk about the Sony, Oracle. He said about my daughter, Kenji, your daughter, will be happy? Daddy work for Oracle or Apple? That's a tricky question. I know if I say Apple, I have to join. But I said, it may be Apple. That is everything when I joined Apple. I worked for Apple as a CEO 5.5 years. But I can say, it's hell. Very busy, amazing busy, because I have to recover everything, relation with partner, customer, marketing, everything. So I learned a lot. This is the very short story, not short. I had a chance to join the Apple. I learned a lot. I am very fortunate. I believe I did a good decision or a nice decision to join Apple. That is my answer.
That was great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Can we now sit down? Are we able to sit down now?
Okay, now.
Thank you so much.
No more Steve Jobs.
Yes, he said that he has to walk like Steve just to deliver this story. So that was very encouraging. I mean, no one could ever have that kind of career. I mean, that's a very interesting and fascinating career ever. It was great to share that story. And also, I know there are a lot of people who's watching this video or in this live show, and including me. We are always wondering, like, we want to start kind of small business, right? We want to do something about like making things for our own, but then it's really, really hard to do it, and we have no idea how to develop that small business. You've been running this big companies, and you probably know that secret of to be successful because you've been raising up like 100% of the marketing things and stuff. So
8 times.
yes, it takes time. So let me ask a question from the audience. One audience was asking that if you could go back to when you start working, what would you want to change about yourself or keep the same?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe I great thankful feeling for my parents. They gave me a lot of talents to do the business. So honestly speaking, if I have a chance to do something again,
Yeah.
I want to choose same way, same career.
Oh,
Yeah, but
you love that much.
if I say something additionally,
Yeah.
I want to create like an iPhone.
Like
or
Japan
much better
Steve
than iPhone.
Yes, Kenji Yamamoto. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
iPhone Kenchana.
Right.
Kind of things I want to do that
Oh
if
my
I have
God.
a chance. So I want to create a
Yes.
company
Yes.
in the younger days.
Yeah.
Work with my colleagues, friends.
Yeah.
I want to change the world
Oh.
from Asian country.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that would be
everything
nice.
happened by American, European. So I have more than 400 times for business trip in the world. Every time I thought that we wanna be a leader to change the world.
That's why I want to keep and
Yeah,
change.
even as of today, when I walk around,
Yeah.
every moment I'm thinking, I wanna create something
Oh, yeah.
better than iPhone.
Yeah. So before we start the session, I was asking him that, do you still have a dream? And he said every day. So that's probably your dream of creating something,
Yeah,
right?
it's a secret for my CEO. I already created a company name or a company logo for next step. Of course, I continue to work for Communica.
Yeah.
I like Communica a lot. But simultaneously, I want to start something.
Yeah. I'll look forward to it. I'm so excited about your dream too.
Yeah.
So let's go back to another question that I was gonna ask, which was that another pretty pre-submitted question for you. I think this is for me and other people who wanted to start a small business. People who are currently running a business or anyone who wants to start their own business, the question is, what is the most important thing about managing a small business? I mean, that can include like Instagram business or like social media business too, right?
Okay. So it's great because I can answer very quickly in a short sentence. I also have experience working as an advisor for investment company. What or how do we see the CEO of the company? How much we can invest or not is everything passion or dream of CEO, that's it. No business plan, no excuse, nothing. Because no CEO can get the success with a first idea or first product. Everybody make a mistakes. Huge failure. But if CEO has a real dream or passion, he can be flexible. He will find another way, another product, another customer, another approach. Those kind of people will get the success. We will invest a big money for those kind of people. We just see the CEO. That's it.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, give him applause for this answer. Yeah, I mean, passion is always needed.
Yeah, please imagine that. Steve Jobs was
So-
fired.
Right. He was a fire, right?
Yeah.
Well, worldwide known fire.
Yeah, but he came back with Unix, big present to Apple.
Right.
That helps Apple.
What about if you have a passion? If you do have a passion inside of you, but when you bring it out, you fail first. Then we are in the side way. We have to decide to follow our passion or listen to other people, right? So if we are in this type of time, which one should we choose?
Yeah, important thing is if your passion is a real one, not an imitation.
Right.
In that case, the first question in your mind is why? Why did we make a mistake? Majority of people start to think about how, you know.
Yeah.
So the people started from why, the people started to find a method, approach, everything. You know, unfortunately, majority of people say passion or dream, it's not a real one. It's just a copy or just a very small image kind of things.
Right.
So please think about that. Please listen yourself. What is your core competency? Why do you have to do this? Why only you can do this? Or why did you come to on the earth? What's your mission? If you find those kind of mission on the earth, people can proceed and make people be happy working with you.
Yeah. So making business can be like finding yourself, like a journey, right?
Yeah, answer is in yourself or in your heart.
Yeah.
Only you know the answer, how to break through.
That's great. Okay, I'll try to find my journey too, the
Yeah.
passion. Because I started a little Instagram, and it's all about like beauty tips. It kind of like grew up, and then it kind of stopped. So I was like wondering, I've been asking him questions like before we started, like, what should I do? And then he said the same things, like, is this your real passion? Then you should ask why it stopped. Now, like, how are you going to like get more followers? So that was a great question and answer too. You don't have time, all right. So
Okay.
now, yes, we do not have time, so let's move on. Great point. Kenzie, we even love to ask you and then get the answers. That was very wisdom. But we also have many people asking questions. You guys been writing questions on the online too, right? So at this time, we'll open up the floor for live Q&A sessions. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah. So please share the Slido screen right now, please. So let me move on to this chair. So there are many questions. There are anonymous question, Primatuti, Dewey, and anonymous. We have lots of questions. So should we just pick one? Should I pick one or Kenzie would pick one? All right. So now we have a questions on. Please welcome, it's a perfect time to please welcome Maya and Hanu off the stage. our questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that you want to answer.
Scan the QR code.
Yeah. First, there's a QR code. If you want to ask any questions right now, scan QR code on the screen, and the screen will pop up, and you can simply ask a question to Kenzie, Maya, Hano. Anything is fine. Not to me. I'm just like you. So yeah, scan the code. And while you guys are doing, let's answer one of the questions. So should we just
wait?
wait? Okay.
We have 12 people typing right now.
All right, great.
Wow.
So those are the questions. We're gonna wait until everyone's answered. Ask the questions. So I'm going to start with the pre-submitted question from our Japanese speaker, who's probably watching right now. The question says, it's the question for Miss Gonishi, Mrs. Gonishi, right? Mrs. Gonishi. And Mr. Yamamoto. The question was, I would love to hear your thoughts of bringing cultural differences. During my time in Japan, I noticed that many Japanese people mention that Japanese is an island nation, shimaguni. So sometimes creating a feeling of distance from other cultures. Because of this, I rarely met friends who were very interested in other countries or communicating with people from abroad. So I also want to build a global career, but I sometimes feel hesitant because English conversation can be challenging for me. Given your experiences, I would be grateful for any advice you might have on navigating these challenges. So,
Okay,
yes.
so since this was a pre-submitted question,
Right.
Kenji and I have gone over it, and I'll be answering on behalf of the two of us.
All right.
So I think that for Koreans, maybe it's difficult to imagine the situation of Japan, of it being an island nation. And coming to Korea, I always feel that though our cultures are very similar, I feel that it is actually different in some ways. And I think one of them is this related to the fact that Japan is an island. So it's difficult for Japanese people to go abroad. And actually, statistically speaking, only 17% of the Japanese population have a passport, whereas 40% of Koreans have a passport.
Wow.
So Koreans are much more globally active. And unfortunately, Japanese people, it's very difficult for them to have a global mindset. Just because if they want to go abroad, they always have to fly. And it's always like a big, long trip. And the prices are high and all these things. So I definitely understand this question a lot, and I know that it's very difficult. But I think coming back to what Hanul was saying in the beginning, it's really about your mindset. It doesn't matter what your English ability is like in the beginning, but I think from a very young age it's important that you go abroad and see that there are different cultures out there and experience that whatever cultural differences there may be, at the core, we're all humans and we share the same like basic human characteristics, and that as a result, you can be friends with anybody from all over the world. So
Yeah, that's a great question. Do you wanted to add anything?
I answered this question, people.
Yes.
We are very isolated type of
Right.
people. Originally, Japanese people spend 20 hours for just TV is the original number. That is the highest number in the world. Their information source was just a TV, was a history. So good news for these people. Japanese people started changing because of the internet. Young people can have a kind of the method to reach the international news. What is good, what is bad. Each people can understand now. They can make a decision. Kind of the culture started, still slow. And the Japanese characteristics is we can change very slowly, very slowly.
It's not like 빨리빨리 in
Not
Korean.
bari-bari. No bari-bari.
We cannot wait 5 minutes. Yeah.
No bari-bari.
No 빨리빨리.
It's already took 30 years to change, you know. But I recognize clearly something started change. Very sorry for the past time,
Yeah.
but we'll have very quickly have a chance to communicate each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great.
Because Maya spent the time to teach English all of Japanese people.
Until every Japanese can speak English, comunica.
She can do that.
Yes. So that was a great answer. I wish that someone who asked this question got this answer over this videos. And now look at these questions. There are so many.
17 people typing.
Typing.
Thank you.
If you vote a question, give it a thumbs up, it goes up. So your
Yes.
question is down here. So if you like this question, this one got 1 like, so it came to the top.
Yeah, so you can vote on a question. We're gonna answer first of the highest votes we got. So on this screen, there's so many, and are we still waiting for the votes?
Yeah,
Should
let's
we?
just vote.
Okay.
Keep coming.
Keep coming. Wow, there's so many.
Yeah.
Let me just
questions.
read some of them. Thank you, AI. It seems
Wow.
it's keep coming in. Thank you, AI. It seems
How about
language
this
barrier.
One? This one has 2 votes.
Which one? The 3 votes. Okay.
Oh, this one.
So I love you was asking, when you have in trouble with your employee, how to handle your employee? For example, Maya want to quit more than 100 times. How'd you do it? Oh, I know this answer. Yes, please, Kenji, answer this for us.
Okay.
So Maya was got fired 167 times.
Yeah.
And how'd you handle it?
It's a very sensitive message. I believe why I scored a lot is my expectation is very high. Maybe highest in all of Japanese people.
Yeah, like Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah, so I believe maybe she can be a Steve Jobs in Japan.
Yes. I mean, she has a potential.
Yeah, so I gave her a big chance and nice big punching, kicking. But I believe she learned a lot. Yeah, because she has very limited experience working for the company, working for the Japanese people. So I believe I should be a kind of the bad guy. So I did that. Honestly speaking, I believe her. So as a result, I promote her as a CEO.
Yes.
So I think now, originally I was expecting her to be a leader of this company.
Right. I mean,
Oh.
that, and you said something else behind the stage, right? That she can forget easily. And that's why you can hire.
genius.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said that Maya can forget the fight over the night.
Yeah.
And she can sleep well. Versus him never forgetting, like a computer mind. He can remember every conversation. So,
But as of today, I found that I learned this skill from her.
oh, the forgetting,
Forgetting.
very important.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you so much for the question. And another question. Oh, there's another one got 5 votes. Anonymous was asking, beyond language fluency, what communication skills do you find most valuable in a multicultural business environment? I believe this is the question for Kenji and Maya. Yes, Hano.
Yeah, so in multicultural business environment, so I spent 18 years abroad. I was educated in the international school system. There were people from all nationalities there. So even when you say something that may be funny to you, maybe it's not very funny in other cultures. So I think beyond language fluency, the number one principle that you should, number one quality that you should have is listening skills. Great leaders, in my opinion, the people who are in the upper echelons of Washington, D.C., they were great listeners. And one way to tell that you're actually listening is your ability to summarize after the speaker in a clear, succinct manner. And that will immediately make you look and sound sound smart. So listen and summarize.
Thank you. Listen and summarize. Okay, that's a great skill that we should all have. And do you guys want to add anything? Yes. Yes, please.
What I teach to my people is very simple. Common sense of yourself is not others' common sense. That's it. That's kind of the mentality you can have or not. That is the most important. What is delicious for you is not delicious for others sometimes. Very comfortable for you is not comfortable for the others because we are different culture.
So we should ask, like the employees think, feel.
Care about people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's move on to another question since we have many questions. How about we go for two more questions? Is there any other questions you guys wanted to answer?
Maybe for all the speakers?
Yeah, for all the speakers, when you look back, what was a key factor that helped you make an important leap in your career? Yeah, that's a great question.
I'm going to start and I'll let you also answer. For me, people. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Some people call it luck, some people call chance, some people call it God's plan. I was fortunate to meet people along the way that gave me a turning point in my career. So going back to Arirang TV, when I was auditioning for the role as a radio news announcer, the boss who hired me, he saw something in me. And then fast forward, I'm married, I had my first child. I haven't been on television for 7 years, and I was just a Seattle mom. I get a phone call from my former coworker and say, I was just talking to the boss, and he was wondering if you would be available to do a really short 15-minute segment on television for this news show. And I don't know, when I first started, I didn't know anybody in television. I had no network. I was just submitting my resume among hundreds and hundreds of applicants. And this one person that I encountered kind of opened the door for me. Also, more recently, Miho Noguchi, this Japanese bilingual MC I met on Instagram. I first DM'd her because I was so mesmerized by her. I sent her a voice memo and we started talking and we found things in common. And last year, I invited her to come to Seoul to speak at an event, something like this, much smaller. But Miho was a turning point for me because Miho opened the doors to the Japanese audience. I was able to meet Maya, and through Maya, I met Kenji and Mamiko, and we have Miho in common, this one person. So but here's the thing. I think in order to attract good people in your life, you first need to be an attractive person. And I said in my speech, people are attracted to people who are confident. right? Confidence is power. So they are not going to just have a meeting with you, have coffee with you. They're not going to accept your invitation if there's not an appeal or something attractive about you. So I was very fortunate to meet these people in my life, but I also worked hard to become that person. It's very similar to dating, right? You have a wish list of what you want in a guy. Now, are you the girl that this guy would like to go on a date with, right? How many qualities do you have? It's the same thing. So if you can convince, if you're a man, if you can convince a woman to go on a date with you, you have to be that attractive male. So people connections, that was my turning point.
Yes, that was a great answer. Would you like to? Yes, please.
Okay, so I mean, Hanul's answer was so great. I'm like kind of pulled by your answer. But the first thing that came to my mind was really just being prepared. I think maybe it's very similar, but I think when an opportunity arises, if you're not prepared, then you just don't get the opportunity. So I think really every day makes a difference, and so you just have to continue to do the hard work every day, and then when the opportunity arises, then you're ready to catch, and you're ready to step into that role, or because I never thought that I would become CEO, but because I've been training for the time when I was vice president, I think when that opportunity arises, I'm ready to take on that role. So I think it's really just the really boring day-to-day tasks that you have to continue.
Absolutely. Yes. And Kenzie, please.
For me, the answer is curiosity. Curiosity changing everything. In the world who I met, this lady guy is great, is an amazing curious person. How can you be curious for anything is a key to change the world. Without no excuse. I'm old. My family, your career, school, you graduated. I'm a male or female. Without those excuses, you should be curious for everything. The only constant is change. Everything changing so quickly in the world. In that case, we should be curious for everything. Somebody changing something in the world every minute. This is a key for me.
Yeah, I believe so, because I remember Hanu become so curious about like the internet 강의s and stuff, right? Like, yeah,
I am an online course junkie. I take so many online courses because I want to
like
learn everything.
천만 원, right? Like,
I spend 4천만 원 on online courses.
Right.
40,000. I mean,
how do you say 4?
4천,
4 million.
4 million.
40 million.
sorry.
40 million.
Yeah, so 40,000 US dollars
Yeah,
on
40,000.
online courses.
Yeah,
so
that's
my
why I remember.
Yeah, 40,000.
Like, wow.
So the business I built, my secret is I learn from other people. I didn't do it by myself. So I'm always open to learning.
Yeah, curiosity.
Yeah,
right?
curiosity.
And I believe wouldn't be like a physical energy too? You mean to run the business or to be curious, the physical energy has to follow up, right?
Which is something you have a lot of.
Yeah. Yeah, then continue, please.
Yeah, I definitely think that being healthy is very important. So I take care of my health. Well, I guess my biggest tip is to go to bed early. So never stay up late, never work too hard. Always, if I feel like I'm getting tired or sick, rest. So never like push too hard, but so that you're always like available, so that you're always healthy. Yeah, that's something I do. And like PT, physical training, I think
Of
personal
course,
training,
right.
yeah, that's also important.
Yes.
Playing golf.
Right. Working out.
Working out.
Yes. That's very, very important. And maybe let's move on to the last, wrap up. All right, so I know that you guys are asking many questions. I'm sure that Kenzie and Maya and Hanu will like read up, right? Read up. You can DM them because we have Instagram, so free DMs. And thank you so much. And all right, so wish we have more time, right? Yes, but this is all the time we have for now. And thank you so much for being today, and we had a great time together. And please give them a one last time in applause. So we'll exit, and now, Mamiko, please, your turn.
Thank you, Sophie. So what a shame it's running out of time, so we couldn't got to that all questions due to the time constraints. But thank you very much, three of them speakers and a great moderation, Sophie. So I was so impressed with Mr. Moro's story. So it is very important. Most important thing is to have a passion and dream, because so everyone can have a dream and a passion, but it should be real. It should be authentic. Thank you very much for the passionate story, and thank you so much, Hanu and Maya. So I and also everyone learned a lot today. Thank you so much. Okay, I hope so. We have come to the end of the master class, so I would like to invite Coach Hanu again for some closing remarks.
Yes, thank you for staying with us for the 2 full hours. Those of you who are watching online, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us in our Power Talk. We want to improve, so please let us know what you thought of the event. You see behind me, so free roadmap call. One person already signed up, so I have 2 more spots left. Free 30-minute roadmap call. You can scan this. We want to improve our events, so please let us know what you thought of the event by filling out this very quick feedback form. So scan the QR code and give us feedback. Have a great night, great day, wherever you are watching us. Feel empowered, inspired, and encouraged, and go crush your goals, and keep moving forward. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Kenzie, can I have a photo? Maya and Kenzie, can I have a photo time with you guys?
Yeah, let me take
No, I'm gonna ask Hanu. Could you take photos of us?
Maya, thank you so much.